Hey guys, it's been a while since I posted. We had a pretty cold 3 days here. The last, I think it was like almost 60 hours, and it was below freezing. So I've done this in the past where I use containers, flip them upside down to as protection, winter protection. So I'm gonna see how some of these did. The garden definitely looks different from the last video I posted. I had plants, die, and I bought new ones, and they've been replaced. But you can see the daffodils already starting to come out. They started coming out a little early because we had a pretty warm winter. I have a Buddleia, a small, it's probably frozen. I'm sure it's frozen. Small butterfly bush. It was here. I have some catnip, and hey, I'm quite surprised. It's still doing good. This is my first time planting catnip, catmint. I didn't know what to expect, but this was already dead prior to the freeze. But there is some freeze burn, but I think it made it. I'm quite surprised. And I used this little container to put on top. Here's some of the daffodils. They came out a little early. It's a little flimsy, but if you know anything about daffodils, they're fine with this cold. These sunshine ligustrum did get pretty burned. Winter freeze burn. I'm quite surprised, but they'll pick right up. This one, I'll just have to give it a good trim, and it'll be all right. Here's a Rose of Sharon. I had this one for about 3 or 4 years. It's in other videos. It's about 5 feet tall now. I have trimmed it, but I think I'm gonna leave it this year. But obviously you can tell it's still dormant. All right, so this is the first. I had a trash can over this one, and even though it is a conifer, it's not really a cold hardy conifer, and it was probably gonna be all right, but I decided to put the trash can over it. I think I had it for about 2 years. It's about 2.5 feet tall, and as you can see, the trash can did really well to keep it. It actually looks really nice. No freezer burn. This is from summer, this burn right here. So it looks like it did pretty good over the, it was only 2.5 days, 3 days below freezing, but overall I'm pretty happy with the results. I got here that I was trying to protect from freezer burn. Both of these are not that hardy in cold temperatures. This one's a Fatsia japonica under the big trash can, and then that's a Pittosporum. So let's see how they did. Hey, that looks really nice. Did it get any damage? I think a lot of this is, yeah, it did get very, I do see a little bit of damage here, little freezer burn, maybe because it was leaning next to the trash can. But overall I'm really surprised, because this plant, I usually lose about 1/3 of it every time it freezes. So I don't really see any. There's a couple of showing damage, and it might be a late, so it might be a little bit worse tomorrow. But this looks really good. Actually, I'm quite surprised. I just see, like I said, a little bit right there. It's funny how it kind of looks circular, and I've had this one for like 4 years, but every year it gets damaged, so it gets cut. It never grows that much because the winter. But overall I'm really surprised, pretty impressed. Here we got the Pittosporum. I'm a little bit concerned about this one because I know it doesn't take really hard cold too well. And it was below freezing for 2.5 days or so, but it is also kind of too big for the container. But let's see how it looks. All right. I actually think that looks pretty good. It's keeping the container shape overall. I think it looks really nice. The color looks good. There's a little bit of frost under there, but for the most part, look, you're looking at like about 3 inches of ice. Man, this looks really nice. I'm quite surprised. This container thing, I know a lot of people are worried that if you keep them without sun for a long time, but I'll be honest, most plants can last quite a bit with no sunlight. At least, or I guess I should say that they're better off with no sunlight than they are with really cold temperatures. I don't have any cloth, you know, I don't really do the cloth method. If I can, and if I know they're marginally hardy, for example, these Pittosporum, I try to find a container to cover them with, and it seems to have been working. I'm really impressed with the Pittosporum and with the Fatsia japonica. They kept their color. They don't really look like they're winter burned. Big thumbs up. It's still a little chilly today, and it's going to be in and out of freezing, but during the day it should get up to about 40, so they'll be fine. And then I had a maple tree here. I don't know if y'all remember, but this year it's succumbed to the heat, so I got this to replace it. I got a really good deal on it. I don't really like the huge leaves on it. You see, it says it's $149. I paid like 25 bucks at the end of the season. They were closing the store, and it has these real nice huge flowers. I hope the buds didn't freeze, you know, to death, but we'll see. It flowered last year, and it has these real big leaves. But anyway, so obviously this canned stuff really works. Big thumbs up. I tried it in the past. I have some other ones there. That's an elephant ear. I'm not even gonna try that one. I'm gonna kill it. And then I got some limelight hydrangea there, and I got another one over there, but those put up with the cold. And this is a nightlight Camicypris. I like it because it's really soft conifer. And right above it I got this. I need to work on this. Birds have basically damaged it. I think I need to get better seed too. I didn't think birds were on it, but I got to see the little footprints here, and you can see some seeds, so it's kind of, at least it helped a little bit for this winter. Here's a fig. It's gotten quite big. I'm gonna have to take it down a little bit, about a third at the end of winter, in about a month or so. I got some mullein grass there. That's a muley grass. It was one and I split into two. I think that one's about ready to split. And then here, this is a what is that? I can't even remember what this is. Oh yeah, Salvia gregii. This is a quite good plant for direct sunlight, and we get some pretty hot summers here, and it does well. So highly recommend it. I bought it, it was about maybe 10 inches tall, and now it's about 3 feet. And I'm gonna cut it back a little bit. And this is a big old blue agave, and it's giving off some small ones that, you know, I covered. I'm gonna leave them there until it gets warmer, but I think this is gonna be all right. And then here we have a juniper, a youngster juniper. This one's done really well. I've had to trim it back a couple because it's gotten quite big. I think it's about 3.5 feet across now. When I bought it, this is definitely, I would recommend this juniper. It covers a lot of ground. I think I paid like 15 bucks for it, you know, 3 or 4 years ago, and it doesn't mind the heat. I don't have to ever water it. And then here, I don't remember the exact, it's a desert willow, but I don't remember the exact, I think it's called Bubba something. But, I mean, it doesn't need anything in the winter. And then this is a Blue Point juniper that has seen better days. It's been moved 2 or 3 times, but it's still there. I'm not losing hope. But a long time ago, this was a conifer corner, but as I learned the hard way, conifers do not do well in the DFW area. So this area here gets nothing but sunlight. So now I basically put nothing but desert plants in this area, and hardy plants like junipers. But anyway, here it is, quite different. Until next time.